Okay, with that, let's call the Fire District Board meeting of July 21st to order. Would you join me in the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Would you call the roll, Wendy?
Heckman?
Here.
Fox?
Here.
Brookline?
Here.
Here.
Oh.
Here.
And North and Aldrich are excused from this meeting. Please silence your cell phone. And, don't text during the meeting. Could we please have an approval of the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda as it stands.
Second. Support.
We have a motion by Phelps and support by Beckman to approve the agenda as it stands. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Could we have approval of the minutes of the June 16th regular board meeting?
I'll move to approve the minutes of the June 16th.
Second. So a motion by Fox and a second by Pullen. Is there any discussion?
Why does it say special?
Because the workshop is normally a special meeting.
I mean, not that it means anything.
Well, it's not the
No.
workshop.
It's just that,
We didn't have a workshop.
that should be removed. The special, maybe you can approve it with amendments. This is just a regular meeting, because that would be the third
Yes.
Wednesday.
Yes.
So we could
Just,
have Wendy just delete special.
Just-
Okay, here.
delete special. Thank you.
Yep.
All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Moving on, is there any public comment? Jerry, got anything? Someday maybe.
He's bleeding.
Oh, I'm sorry. Kyle,
He's at the table.
if you're bleeding, Kyle could probably take care of it. Okay, moving on. We have no guest speakers. Do we have a request for payments?
I make a motion to approve the accounts payable. $209,726.04.
I'll second that.
Motion by Phelps, second by Pullen. Is there any discussion about the finances?
I had one question, but I don't see it.
I thought I saw something too, bid market.
Well, we can always come back, let me know.
Yep. Probably nothing.
Anything? Okay, hearing no questions, could we have a roll call vote to approve the finances?
Phelps?
Yes.
Pullen?
Yes.
Beckman?
Yes.
Fox?
Yes.
Brookline?
Yes. We have a financial report here?
Yes, so on page 12 of 20, item 9B, here is the revenue compared to the expenses for the fiscal year ending June 30th, and I don't think we got any other bills outstanding I'm aware of. So on the revenue side, we collected just shy of $4,000 more than we budgeted on all the line items. And then you can see the expense side down through there. There's a couple of them that we got brackets, parentheses around. Some of it's due to payroll, some of it's due to, basically both of them are due to payroll. Overall, on page 13, if you go to year-to-date balance, there should be a rollover of $335,000 into our fund balance from fiscal year 2025 ending, and I'm sure the auditors, they like, they'll find something somewhere. Big hunk of it, $195,000 was the long-term capital, which was the truck that we hadn't taken. We had thought we'd have it by June 30th, and it did not happen, so.
So that roll over.
Yeah, so that amount got rolled over, then some payroll, excess payroll, and you can see anything on the second column on the right, if it whole numbers without the parentheses around it, I mean, that was excess. We didn't spend as much, that was budgeted, so. That's a good thing.
Can you repeat that for the record, please?
Okay.
That's a rarity.
It's a rarity. Next year might be a different story, but I mean, that's currently where we're at. And there could be, all the payrolls in there, unless some oddball bills show up here in the next few days. And the auditors are coming, I think it's the third week in October, so.
When does our fiscal year end?
June 30th.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Thank you. Just wanted to make sure myself. Okay.
Okay, are there any questions? Let's move on. Fire chief comments.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to the reports, when you're ready, Wendy. I can share with you that another historic record month in the month of June. We're 127 calls, highest in the history since we've been tracking data. We are this year up 5% in calls, year to date. And the other notable thing is, I think 64 from Blue Star has taken over for the #1 intersection, which has a traffic light. So it's interesting enough, the roundabout is effective as much as it's controversial. You still have property damage, but what you don't have is the trauma. So what we officially surpassed Old Allegan, and now 64 from Blue Star is the most precarious intersection.
Why do you figure?
Pot shop. I'll leave that one. But, I would say it's attributed to that area, because remember, it could not be just the intersection, it might be 200 feet away. Here is the dynamics of how dangerous that intersection is. All the crisscross traffic going out of Dunesview, Shell, the exit, the off-ramp, and 64th Street. So you've got all this traffic, plus you're going into the gun shop and the marijuana shop. So you have this busy activity there.
It's also thinking,
Spectators, that's the street coming out of the.
and 64th and that street, both arrive at Blue Star at less than perpendicular, which changes people's mental impression.
I turn by spectators and kind of sneak in that middle lane, but I really shouldn't be in there. It's double yellow.
Yeah.
But if I don't, I stop traffic on Blue Star. That should be studied, that it should be a turn.
Going into spectators?
Going to be on, what is that,
65th. Right?
64. It's 64.
64 is Burger
It's a
King.
continuation.
Is it continuation of 64?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Right?
wrong.
Yeah, no wonder we can't find it.
What is the continuation?
One that runs behind spectators.
Oh, I remember that. Oh.
Yeah, it goes by
I get-
by
I
Randall's
know.
house, by my house
Oh.
over there.
Oh.
That's 64th all the way through.
Yeah, all the way through.
It turns,
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, it
And then it goes to, it ends, and then somewhere on the other side of the river, it starts up again.
Oh.
But it's confusing, because people
Yes.
that want to turn into the dentist's office officially shouldn't get in that lane because it's double yellow until past double. There is no lane.
They're going into Dr. Wiley's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
Burger
Burger King.
Yeah, I always
Yeah,
get
it's
over
just
there.
all
for Burger
marked
King
wrong.
anyway.
Yeah, it's confusing. I mean,
I'll look at it.
I know, but tourists don't know.
Yeah.
Same thing with
Right.
coming out of Burger King. There's supposed to be a no left turn
Right.
sign there.
Yeah.
That was an original agreement for that being put in there, and they taken that sign down.
Well,
Oh, they
it's
have
still there.
taken it?
Is it?
It's before, when you come out of that Burger King, no left turn, so it's like about 100 feet back, like you have to turn. That sign, it's there, it doesn't make sense, but no left turn, it's like you don't turn left in front of the store. If you come out of the drive-thru, there is a sign that says no left turn there, it doesn't say.
Yeah, they do want you to circle back and go out to
Right.
64th
Right.
and then to the light.
Well, yeah, they
The
should
other,
have it farther up.
the other cobble mess is getting off that exit and people trying to get into Shell
Mhm.
across, so they start going and then they stop
Right.
to turn left.
It's very precarious. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so it's been
64th, for
So-
some reason I had 65th in my mind. But it's worse between 64th and when you get on the bridge. Because
Yeah.
all the cross-traffic and all the people rapidly
Coming off.
stopping at the stop sign when they get off the highway, and then
Yeah.
they're jettisoning across
They're not
in the
stopping.
shell.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
So who's responsible for all of that?
County.
The county?
Yeah, I would talk to Daniel, and then we would talk to Craig Atwood.
Okay.
I would
idea.
say some good
Yeah.
signage and things that make sense might
Yeah.
help a little.
Yeah, I agree.
And repaint all that striping.
Or even this, you know, the turn lane southbound Blue Star into Holland Street,
Yeah.
that's a right turn lane, except that it's striped solid white, which means
Yeah.
don't cross that line.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's not right.
no, that's never been.
And then the next exit is Clearbrook Drive or 135th.
Yeah.
That has an opening
Yeah.
to turn
To the right.
west, but when I come from this way to go home by the hotel, that's all solid white. I'm not supposed to get in that cross the fog lane, but everybody does it for safety reasons.
Yeah.
We should have, I think they're working on,
think
hopefully
they're
we have a
working-
center return lane all the way through here at some point.
Thanks, Peter.
Yep,
Sorry, Pete.
Nice having you, Peter.
I gotta get to the doctor by 5 o'clock.
Oh, hurry up.
Hope you stay alive.
All right.
Yeah.
Wendy, page 2.
Streets are nice.
Yeah, I hope that we do this too, so that our attorney lanes. This just shows the activity for June 2025. Doesn't look like much for a record year, but there's a lot of locations on top of a location. If you go to the next page, Wendy, 3, you can just see for year-to-date, January to June, the activity. It's always kind of fun to see all those plotted on there. And if no questions on the EMS reporting, I'll move on. I'm happy to report cost recovery updates, successful recovery of a large one. This is the one that went through the bridge. It almost went into the river. And it happened in 2024. And they ignored us until legal got involved. And then we quickly got paid. So you can see $10,120, another $1,275, $353 received. Next workshop meeting, yeah.
When you do a cost recovery, and we have a lot of legal expenses, do you add that on before we even start, or you really can't?
We track all that to see, because I usually don't involve legal at all, because it usually
Right.
costs more to process it. Here was the problem, the reason I involved legal. I have probably a total of 7 cases that either Progressive or Pioneer dismissed the case, their liability, because they referenced Michigan compiled law, MCL, a certain number. And I said, well, how can we have all these lawyers look at this and write an ordinance where MCL offsets that? So I finally, after being denied all these claims, took that MCL, the 2 MCL numbers, Progressive and Pioneer referenced, and said, how can this be? I don't understand it. And Bloom and Slug had hired an attorney that specializes in this. And they said that, in her legal opinion, Pioneer and Progressive have taken that MCL out of context. It's not applicable. That's how we won.
Wow, good.
And we just got another one where the insurance company said, no, we're not covered. Well, we don't care if the insurance company doesn't cover it. Scott, you're still responsible for it. You didn't have the right
Right.
insurance. Right, right.
Might not be any good, but we'll read it.
So I just negotiated one with the people that didn't have any coverage who thought they did. They had all coverage, and of course they were turned down. They became responsible. And so I now have information to challenge that MCL.
Good.
So that was the investment we made. Otherwise, you know, it's $350 for a one-page letter,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And then every time you correspond, it's $200, so I gotta be careful about that. So that's the cost recovery. We got some good joy this month. I thought you'd like this, the Vacation Bible School pictures, community church, some pictures. So essentially it was just a great activity for the kids, Vacation Bible School. And we were invited, as we always are, and we took the aerial there, and the kids loved to have the aerial spray the water on them. So just show you some of the pictures that were shared with us. We didn't take these, and then a lot of outside photos. So some of our staff are there that went to the event. So I thought you'd enjoy that. Thanks, Wendy. Next I have under chief comments, I'm rather uncomfortable happening with the 4th of July parade. And I think you should know about it from the perspective that it didn't go well. And I wanted you to hear it from me. So I'm required to have this completed with emergency management, and Douglas Police are involved in this to some degree, and the sheriff. So it has to be updated every year because things change. So this covers 4th of July parade event. This is a 3-day event, and it also covers Venetian. So essentially what happened was we have to monitor the weather. Because of the cutbacks with the feds, the National Weather Service couldn't call me every hour. So they asked if they could just contact emergency management, which is Sarah, which for the county. So we've been monitoring the weather days before, and then we have to monitor it every hour in the morning to the event. So what was projected, forecast by the National Weather Service was severe weather. So I wrote the timeline on, and the event size requires that we monitor the weather and follow the event action plan. That's this. So the morning of, I got a notice, a text. This is a text that says, from emergency management, lightning less than 20 miles from shore. National Weather Service just called and advised that they're seeing an uptick in activity. This was emergency management to me. So we saw the hazardous weather coming in. Page 10 of this shows when they do a matrix, a medium storm has a high impact. So then we go to real-time weather. So then at 8:30 that morning, the emergency management called me at home before I was at the 9:30 meeting for the parade, and said that the forecast includes severe weather to approach the shore at 11 o'clock, the time start of the parade. So we had hundreds of people out there. So I saw this, and I contacted emergency management. I said, would you please recontact National Weather Service, ask them their recommendation, because forecasts are forecasts. And they said, well, it's actually turning out worse than they had suspected. There's lightning. Rain, okay. Wind, I'm worried about limbs falling down. When I combine it with lightning, that's a problem. So the way the rules work is if there's lightning within 10 miles, you reschedule, postpone, or delay. So the event organizers, I contacted them and said, we have lightning projected on this, right when all these people are exposed, you need to cancel this or reschedule it. They contacted their superiors, the decision was made no. They're continuing the parade.
Who are they?
CVB. So I said, well, no, I'm not really happy about that. And they said, well, we work for so-and-so. I said, but I don't. And I'm following this. They wouldn't do it, they said wait till the last minute, so I protested, told them that. And at about 10 to 11, we were all lined up there, and the weather turned. So, I followed this, then what am I gonna do with these hundreds of people outside? So I got on the phone and called the superintendent of the school. Mark, first name basis, he's a real good guy to work with. Mark, I got a problem. I got hundreds, if not 1,000 people standing out here at Elizabeth Street. I want to get them inside, can I open up the school? Sure, you know, I'll be there in half an hour. I said, I have keys to the school, Knoxbox, right? I said, I just want your blessing. Sure, that's what we did. We invited anyone who didn't have anything, because you couldn't have a car there unless you were in a parade. We put them in the hallways of the school. Storm blew over. I sat in my command vehicle monitoring the weather. Sergeant Haas and Ryan Cummins were in the police unit in front of me, right across from the school. The event action plan requires shutdown on anything within 10 miles. I took a screenshot of my phone. Here it is, 11:22, lightning 3 miles away. So backing up to 11 o'clock, it started raining. The event organizers came up to me and said, what do you want to do? And, now?
You say now.
So I said, well, let's put them in the school, and then let's evaluate in 30 minutes. So that's when I saw 11:22 lightning strikes, which according to this is a no-go. So around 11:35, the event organizers came up and said, we're canceling this. So I want you to hear it right from me, that I was not happy with this. I made it real clear that somebody in an office can't make a decision. I have to follow the protocol, because I'm going to protect the fire district. You know that. I don't want to disappoint people either. How am I going to explain in a court of law we let people proceed with this? So I want you to hear it from me. I follow this and I follow that.
They could have postponed it till
Other
Monday,
than
all
that,
right?
right. And at that time, because I asked the National Weather Service, what if I postpone it an hour? You know, if they want, you know, nobody wants to make those decisions, those difficult decisions. So the National Weather Service and EOC said it looks like it's going to be 3 to 4 hours, the storm. It was not, but it was forecast to be that. So the National Weather Service recommended against this, EOC did, and I did. However, it was disregarded. So I want you to hear it from me. It all worked out, nobody got hurt, and I was very thankful to the school for allowing us to use that. But I can tell you, if it's fireworks or something, that's not gonna happen again. I will stop it.
Who legally is in charge?
I can't answer that.
Well, shouldn't that couple of groups, you and some
Yeah.
other groups, sit down and just...
I would think that if
in charge?
we're the subject matter experts and we're the safety personnel,
Yeah.
then I think we have the authority to do this, and I made it clear to them, you will assume all responsibility. I'm hereby notifying you on behalf of the district that we are washing our hands of this. And we drove down to the parade, and we could get in our trucks, but a lot of the people couldn't.
How many people went to the school?
I don't know. We didn't do a head count. I had put 2 officers in the school to keep track of accountability, make sure somebody didn't wander off. So that was Chris Manos and Sean Marr. And that helped because it was really raining. You know, people weren't prepared for that. I don't remember a rainstorm during those parades.
No.
Well,
So I would think-
Greg, that's the point.
Yeah.
1 in
Right.
60 years,
Right.
you gotta be, what are you
You
gonna
gotta be
lose
ready.
sleep that you couldn't go to one
Yeah,
frickin'
I-
parade?
And I think there has to be a decision on who is actually in charge.
Well, the organizers aren't in charge, I can tell you that.
Pardon?
The organizers aren't in charge.
Yeah, I always
But that's
call
what
the
they
weather-
did.
weather forecasters the weather terrorists, because they always doom and gloom and worse than what it's gonna be.
But you have to
The
listen.
the problem is that you go to court is, you, Chief Janik, you allowed this to happen in a predicted storm.
Yeah.
That's what
That's the
happens.
problem.
Yes or no?
I will be the bad guy. And one thing for Greg, it's another thing for the fire district.
Yeah.
And you could see the front coming in, so it was a bit, discouraging to see, but it all worked out. But I had to make this call before, it's too windy to shoot the fireworks.
Yeah.
Or it's beyond 10:25 because there's boats anchored in there. John Black taught me, he says, you can't go past 10:25, the permit's only good till 11 o'clock. So those are things that, this is one of those bad deals.
But any kind of publicity that the CBB or whatever, who's in charge, they should put on the bottom of all this stuff, weather permitting.
Yeah.
They
Well-
should have that option to say,
Yeah.
nope. Someone's looking for Dan.
Yeah,
Well, it's all in here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
but I mean, like, if they
Yeah.
put a like a
Right.
sign up,
Yeah.
Weather
It's not,
parade.
yeah. And Cummins was there, Ryan Cummins was there. And he
I was gonna
said,
ask you, he.
I think you should shut it down, chief. I said, they won't.
I don't see how the CV.
They could have made-
can
Well,
override you.
They don't have, they
They could
don't.
have made an argument
Have
that
any
the
authority.
city manager of Saugatuck should have shut it down.
Yes, true.
So, next time we'll handle it differently, and Sergeant Hodge was kind of, I hate to
I got a
disappoint.
question. Is there a permit issued for the parade?
Oh, yeah.
Who issues that permit?
City.
The city.
That's who
That should
shuts
be
it down.
charged.
Yeah.
There should be no discussion. You make the recommendation,
Let the city make the decision.
Yes,
Sure.
That's
yes.
typically what Chief Block would have done, and Ryan was all for it. Ben was kind of on the fence, he said, oh, these people are here, and I said, we can't put them walking underneath trees that might, when they get loaded with rain, they break. We're a tree town,
Or lightning hits them.
yeah.
or lightning hits.
Okay.
So,
All right, well-
it all worked out.
Doctor signs the permit, they should be the ones in charge, and you need to
I
give
know.
your recommendations.
Yeah,
It's
it just,
supposed to be that from
it
now
just
on.
didn't work out that
That
way.
way, yeah,
So,
yeah.
Okay, well, let's move on. 415 Wiley Road. Lease purchase agreement discussion. How we doing, Greg?
So you have, well, I did not want to send it to Douglas, I thought it was completely inappropriate, and thank you to the board for calling off the workshop. I had a lot of circumstances that,
Why did we call up the workshop?
Personal reasons.
Pardon?
Personal reasons.
I'll tell you later, but I'm not gonna tell you here.
Okay.
So I drafted this in time for the workshop meeting to bring to the board. So essentially what this is a lease purchase agreement, you've got it, you got 2 copies of it. So if you have questions, what this does, let me know, I'm not gonna read it to you. But what this does is make an offer on renting it, and the rent is applicable to the purchase price, and the purchase price meets what they wanted, which was $600,000. It shows what our lease per month would be until we can take funding. It shows that there is an escape clause, we're not obligated to it. If we can't secure funding, it also takes into consideration such as, what do we need, what don't we need? What the contractor thought we needed was a lot more than what we all predicted. And I actually identified, well, you need a phone system, you need internet, and those things cost money. You should have security key lock system, the showers, we went into that. So, it identifies what I suggest you offer to pay for the building, which includes the property to build the garage on, and it has a lease amount of, I think, $2166 for a monthly lease, and then we would pay the utilities on top of that. I ran this through budgetary, with Peter. We went over it, pretty extensively. So, I also have, contacted the county. One of our avenues that was looked at finally was bonds. Can we bond over 5 years? Do it through the county, where there was that talk. I talked to Rob Sarro. He did an introduction to their point of contact, Mr. Benzinski. I have talked to Mr. Benzinski. He said it's not as easy as we can't bond the fire department, but there are special assessment avenues to go through. So those, we're gonna have the meeting, the committee, Jane, Dan, and myself, and we'll meet with the bonding attorney and Mr. Benzinski for ideas on how to do this, and it's at no cost. They're not gonna charge us anything. And give us ideas what we can do for the county. But when Rob Sarro, county administrator, asked him, hey, the fire department wants to have you bond out this, it wasn't as simple as that. Because I believe Cal Lake Sewer and Water Authority, that's what they did. And they're an authority, we're a district. So they have some ideas. So that's to come, okay?
For what it's worth, I think I don't see how you could do any better than this letter.
I think it shows intent.
Well, it's clear, and it's
Right.
detailed, and it's not legalese, body language, you know, that you can't get through.
I wanted it simple, without a lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There'll be a time for a lawyer to go over it, but I wanted, are we on the right track, board? I want, was I on the right track? And this does address the city's 600,000. It does give, so, let's compare. They were getting $13 a square foot from Holland Hospital, okay? That was the latest I was told. I offered them $5 a foot to rent it. If we don't buy it, say we decide we can't get support, we don't buy it, that's just theirs.
Yeah.
They go around and they do what they want with it. But the intent is whether we millage increase or bond or special assessments, the intent is to acquire this and pay for it over a period of time. And that number is put in here for you.
On, maybe you know, I don't, on special assessments, how does that work?
You post special,
No,
yes,
go
so
ahead.
Jane?
No, go ahead, Fred.
You post a special assessment for 45 days as the window for comment. I ran this through Jeff Sluggett. I ran it through Mr. Benzinski. And they both like that, primarily because they can comment in that 45-day window, and that's taken into consideration, the comments. So we looked at that and going, okay, this is a way to do it without making a big deal out of this, because you have a right to raise this. So a special assessment would be a form of
But I understand that piece, but then what actually happens? Is it prorated out to taxpayers?
correct, in the form of the millage. So that could be handled, so it's, okay, we need this amount of money over this amount of years, here's what we're gonna raise the millage. So it becomes a way, a mechanism of identifying why we're adding the millage on, this is through a special assessment.
And who's gonna pay for it?
Right. The taxpayers. So that's how
But which?
you can do it, and because you have some, borrowing the whole money, because the cities guarantee they're gonna give us the property millage they collect. So getting a loan, they don't wanna be signing for loans
No.
and things like that. That's the complexity of an authority or a district.
Would the assessment be based on property values, or would everyone would get the same?
That I don't know.
My guess is the answer is yes. That it'd be like your taxes, it's gonna be based on the.
I would think it's based on the SEB.
Mhm.
Oh,
So, you know, you got a $10 million house, it's gonna be a lot, you got a $100,000 house, it's gonna be a lot less.
Well, it's gonna cost us a lot more to put out any issues on a $10 million house than a $100,000 house.
Right.
You gotta pay to play.
Yep. What this doesn't, what this identifies is the need for us to secure funds to build a garage, because what you're talking about, 600,000, is gonna give you units 1 and 2, and then property to build the garage, 90 by 90, I call it a garage. So, you have that in, you have some ancillary parking. So that's what would cover that. The cost of constructing the garage is above and beyond that. That's where the $3.5 million comes in from Mr. Joey Andrews, Representative Joey Andrews. So that's kind of where we're at.
Okay, Greg, now what do you need? Do you need a motion to send this letter? Do you need?
That's what I would request, to suggest a motion to forward this to Douglas. I want you to see it before it was released to the public and actually went out, you know, already.
Okay, and then who signed?
You.
Yep, I would think you.
Okay. There are good days and bad days. All right, so I'll take a motion to send the
I'll
letter.
happily make the motion
Okay, Dan?
to forward the lease purchase agreement letter to Douglas as soon as possible.
I'll support.
Okay, a motion from, did you get that, Wendy?
Mhm.
Okay, I have a motion from Dan Fox and support from Beckman. Is there any discussion? Any more discussion? All those in, well, maybe we ought to have a roll call on this.
Fox,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Mr.
Yes,
Stout,
Yes.
Holman.
Yes.
all right.
Thank you. Good
Got
to
that
see you.
taken care of? All right, moving on.
Next would be the insurance renew.
Right.
MMRMA renewal discussion. I gave you a summary which essentially says, the insured value of the existing buildings is $2.3 million. It's page 20 of your packet. I requested an estimate on the proposed property coverage down south. He thinks it's gonna be around $5,000, but I don't have it in writing yet. The policy deductible went from 1,000 to 1,500. That's his deductible.
That's not too bad.
No, it's not. It's a big increase, but it's not a
In
lot.
the scope of things, it's not.
Well, I don't like nickel and diamond insurance companies anyway. The bottom line is the premium for the renewal is $47,263. Last year's premium was $43,183. So you have an increase of $4,080, or a little over 5%.
9% you got here. 9%.
Sorry, 9.5%. I saw the 5. It's almost 10%.
That's pretty much what the cost is across the industry.
Correct. The next bullet point will show net asset distribution. This is a pool-type premium, so that it's a nonprofit company. If there's a surplus of money not consumed by claims, they refund you by a very complex formula. So you got $3,168 back from the net asset. The state pool, the first $50,000 is out of the state pool, and you got $2,667 for the year. You got $5,800 back, which pretty much washes the increase.
Question. The deductible at $1,500, could we increase that and cut rates?
Should be able to.
Only I asked the question
Yeah.
because what are the odds of, I mean, if we're gonna make a claim on this policy, it's probably gonna be for the entire building or some dreadful nightmarish, anyway, very expensive kind of thing. Say, pick a number, but say it's $100,000 for a fire loss in this building, or, you know,
Could be $1 million truck.
Mhm.
or $1 million truck,
Yeah.
exactly, perfect, $1 million truck. The odds that we're gonna make a claim that's like a minor claim are pretty slim, I would think. And, I mean, I'm processing this through
I
my,
raised all my deductibles.
I raised my
I did
deductibles to
too.
the absolute max.
I did on my boat.
Absolute max, because that's the one way you can control that premium overall, can completely control the premium. And again, you know, I mean, among us, when's the last time any of us made a significant insurance claim?
Yeah, knock on wood, but I guess what it would be, nice to see is the difference between the 1,000, 1,500, and what's the next number? 2,000, 25?
Like I say,
Will do.
Or,
Or even 10,000.
Even 10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not,
I mean, I have deductibles at 5,000, and that's the reason I ask is because in cases, my insurance company, they won't let you go any higher. I don't know why, I'm sure it's in their interest not to,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
still,
Definitely
push it all the
their
way.
interest.
Great idea, I'll be glad to find out.
push it to the limit and see what they say.
Okay.
It's,
We'll
Okay.
have that on the agenda next month.
Well, I think there's a fine line there at some point.
yeah, there probably is.
Well, like
Well,
when the radios spoke.
They talk about it, I mean, it's, when you do that, that's self-insured.
Mhm.
You're
Yeah.
saying, okay, I can afford to pay
For my
for a
stupid mistakes.
$1,500 claim.
Mhm.
You know, if there's gonna be, I wouldn't even, on my cars, I wouldn't even turn in a $1,500 claim. No, I would just absorb it automatically, because I know what's gonna happen to my
So it's
rates if I
gonna
turn it
raise your-
in.
raise your rates.
Right.
You know, they're gonna have you one way or another, so,
And your deductible's 1,000 anyway,
exactly. Exactly.
so, all right.
I will do that. And then it just shows there's a member account summary, essentially it shows what you got this past period, 2024, 2025, with the grants and the asset distributions of 20,000, 2,600. You see the period for that would be this year. It just shows the net asset distribution, the state pool, and the grants. The program total, since we've been a member of MMRMA, is to the right. Just kind of an FYI.
All right, moving on, ACSO reserve desk duties, west side location.
So in our relentless pursuit to, collaborate and save taxpayers' money, I was approached by the Sheriff's Department for the reserves. As you know, the Marine Division base is out of here. So they have a lot of west side reserve deputies, a lot, 6 or 7 over on the side. So I was approached by Sergeant Haas, my point of contact, and he said, Chief, would it be possible for us to park one of our reserve cars here, and if they could plug in their body cams here, so they don't have to go drive to the county and then drive here? Well, that makes sense.
A lot of sense.
They come right here. So I said, sure. Like, yeah, absolutely. I just need the names and we'll give them key fobs, which is about $3 now. So we did that. I wanted you to know about it. It benefits everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, good.
And they just hired some more guys, and then it went a little further. Then they asked, can they download their body cam footage, which you know what that's like. Takes a lot of spectrum. And I said, you can't do it during the day. You could do it at night when there's no demands. So they download the body cams at night, the reserve deputies and the Marine deputies. They asked to do that. I said, that's okay.
Mhm.
So we're doing that. There's no cost to us. I said, if I have an issue, please let me come back and talk with you about it, so.
They should probably park those units closer to Blue Star, and make it
Yeah,
look like,
it already is.
look like there's radaring over there.
Yeah, it's sitting on the last
It's
last
good.
spot.
Yeah, you should go
Good
back
spot
here.
for it.
Just keep it close to the road.
Yeah, I will, I'll tell them that, yeah.
So we're not charging them anything,
No.
right?
No, ma'am, no,
Okay,
no,
good,
no.
good. I like that.
So then what evolved after this
Oh, more, huh?
This was post, so then I was approached by MDOT. MDOT's got a project on Wiley Road they're doing and all this
Oh,
and that.
yeah.
They said, can we keep a tanker truck here? I said, sure, we got plenty of room back there, as long as you put it back there. Where? And I put it next to the brown building back there. So, I believe in being hospitable. He says, you know, we work together with you quite
Mhm.
closely, and they did give us a $42,000 trailer, so there was no cost, so that's why you'll see one of their trucks back there.
That's
We
fine.
also helped them out with water when they were drilling the deck for the bridge, where the guy went through the bridge, that cost recovery you got. So they had to use their core machine, they needed water, he had no way of getting water. So, yep, we got water. Water.
Good.
Tank truck doesn't have fuel in it, does it? I mean, in the tank. The parked truck, is that a fuel
No,
truck?
no.
Water,
Water tank.
sorry. Water truck. Yeah. So I want you to know that, okay?
Okay, moving on, the fire board officers election.
That time of the year where July, you have to appoint, reappoint, fire, terminate, add.
Run the roster down, man. You're, Jane is chairman. What else
Eric
is
is vice
Vice.
chair.
Vice.
Vice.
Secretary.
Your secretary.
Are all of you willing to run?
Yeah.
Do it again.
Well, I'm gonna make a motion to,
As is.
As it
yes,
is.
to reinstate the existing board,
Reappoint?
reappoint the existing board.
Yeah, I think with everything that's going on right now, it's probably not a bad idea. You know, it's,
All right, so is that a second?
sure.
All right. So Paul made the motion and Phelps seconded it. Although, any more discussion? All those in favor, please say yes.
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 Opposed?
Is this where the confetti falls from the ceiling?
Yeah.
Either that or a duck.
Yeah.
So reappoint the officers to the existing positions.
All right, okay, moving on, public comments. Any public comment back there? All right, fire board comments. Eric?
Yeah, just great job on the cost recovery. It's good
Yeah.
to see.
Hey.
Cost recovery and the letter for the
Yeah.
lease
Letter for
purchase
Douglas.
is just outstanding, so.
I've got a question about usage of the trucks,
Yes, sir.
duty trucks. How many are out all the time with people? Are they left here at the station?
So, one guy, like sometimes Kyle, or sometimes like one of the other shift people go with Chris Bernhardy in the Ford Expedition to do the rentals. We're always trying to teach other people what to do. Kyle's already an inspector, but sometimes they'll go together and do a bunch of them. So, they're doing the inspections, and then they'll help with, the medical. So, the way the calls were like in June, we have 50% back-to-back calls. So you're running two trucks at one time for medicals. So Bernie is either in the Ford Expedition or Bet's tied up the pickup truck 2131. Then the primary first responder vehicle was that big one,
Yeah.
2160.
But as far as the truck's usage, is it just a duty officer taking that vehicle home at night?
If the duty officer is not staying at the station, example would be Mike Block, doesn't stay at the station. Linus Starring doesn't stay at the station, then they take those vehicles home. So Block, Linus, I think that's it. That's all that would take those vehicles home. Manos takes a vehicle home because he's got one.
Why does he have one?
He's always had one since we replaced the truck and we designated it to him, because he was on the street more, and he was really a backup to my truck, so that's why he's got it.
So the person who has the least amount of calls has a truck.
Correct.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
No, Well, he is like, to keep the momentum on the plan reviews, I didn't want him first out the door. If somebody's tied up on a project or something, then he's on deck to run. Doesn't mean he doesn't run with his. It was really after our call thing where I had somebody available south of the bridge. That was really the catalyst at the time. I had somebody down near M89 because I really didn't have.
Anybody in that area?
Yeah, I had Michael England, which was no longer with us. Mike Block is down there now, but Mike has the full-time job, so it was really a presence of somebody down there, plus he could hop on exit 34, mile marker 34 to get on there. I have talked to him in the past about, kind of kick up his responses, so that's where I'm at.
Do you think that will change if we get that south location? Since there's,
It
we
could.
need a truck there
It could.
and a truck here?
Very good. We're certainly not getting any more trucks, but we certainly, so it could be evaluated. You know, I can predict like the weather, but I gotta see how it works out. We end up getting this, but I know right away I can send like 6 vehicles down there.
Yeah.
So that's a big relief with resource at that end of the district. And certainly Chris Manos can be one of them, that truck. And that truck I just don't want to take off the road, take the old brush trucks off the road for grass fires, but we haven't had a big grass fire for probably 2 seasons now.
Don't say it.
Don't
say
There goes all baldy.
Kind of runs in, you know, every once in a while, yeah, I should never have said that, but,
Yeah.
sorry. But, you know, I don't know how these fire departments do it though, spend $50,000, $60,000 on a new truck and it's off-road. That's why we're driving older trucks, but certainly for the other type of things we do, that's what we have.
Do we kind of have a majority of certain areas where a lot of calls are, or is it just, and I've looked at that thing, but is it like all more in the south, more in the north?
Well, the data charting will show you a makeup of what the percentage of where it is. So the biggest area is southeast.
Yeah, that's what I kind of
You know,
thought, but I can't.
but the density of people, the commercial activity where you see all the blue.
This is where those calls are.
Right.
Yeah.
But then that area is so big, so those dots are spread out, so you don't see the density. But certainly when you have 5,000 people at Oval Beach in the summer, and then Salt Lake City, you'll see a lot of intensity of calls there.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes.
Out of curiosity, how has 2161 been in terms of reliability?
Fine, we've had regeneration with the diesel regeneration issues, and it just went in again for that, and they found a bad EGR valve and replaced that. We just got all our annual maintenance done. That's why you see a lot of bills in here for Klein,
Yeah.
because we had the DOT inspections and there were a lot of things that had to be done. Oh, one of the valves froze and cracked. That's a $600 expense. Should never happen, but it did. There was a brake chamber on 2161, but it's a 2009 truck. So those things are inherent.
Okay, it sounds like we're gonna reevaluate that truck with the south,
Sure, yep, absolutely.
with the acquisition of the south station. Okay, true?
No, I just, thank you very much for doing everything you're doing. I
You have,
really
thanks.
appreciate it.
It's a lot of work.
You did a lot of work. this
Well, it
time.
was-
I mean, I'm sure you all the time, but a little more this time maybe.
Thank you. Well, the other thing that's not on the agenda is, and really it was Eric Beckman's influence, along echoed with the board, is the life ambulance agreement.
Oh.
So, the reason I didn't have on the agenda is I had a phone conference call with Mark Meyer, just a one-on-one conference call. I didn't hear from him for 3 weeks, he was out of town. So he called me and he said he wants to continue the agreement, he saw my notes, he understands. He said, I don't think we're in a position to do double-digit increases. You have to keep that in mind. We're absorbing this out of our medical budget, which you would take 80% of. So he said, oh, we're happy, we want to continue with this, and we talked for about 20 minutes. Well, then I was he going to give me the agreement, or am I going to draft the agreement? He's got all the people on the payroll. This is our busiest time of the year. So I sent him an email. He has not responded. It says, hey, Mark, thanks for reaching out to me, talking about this, cherish the relationship. Are you going to draft this? Because I hope you do. That's where we're at.
Okay.
Because I said, I don't want you to think we don't want to pay this because the board all is in favor of this. And, you know, we're hoping that you'll work these in. He said he would like the agreement to coincide with the expiration of Fenville. I said, do you want those together? He says, not necessarily. Because I said, you know, you get 6 other partners in this.
Yeah.
And boy, how's that gonna work
Yeah.
out? You know what I mean?
That's too much.
It's like multiple owners of a building.
Yeah.
It gets sticky. So, we did talk about that. I just sent him an email. I'm sure he's a busy guy. He hasn't wanted to respond right away. He knows we want to do it. And that was important for me to let Eric know that I followed up with that. So, there was just nothing to share with you in writing.
Okay.
Right, so, another thing that's going on in the station right now is Mike Betts and I pitched in and helped Greg get those positions identified and job descriptions written for them. I think the firefighter position was posted today, right?
I think it was 2 days ago.
Okay, so that's posted. We're going to post tomorrow for the clerk or administrative assistant. Whatever, whoever's gonna work in the office, we will post that tomorrow. And,
Yep.
hopefully we'll get that together. The firefighter position is posted internally for how many days?
Until the 1st.
Until the 1st of.
The other one will be a 30-day posting.
And then the other one will be a 30-day posting. yeah.
Jane and Mike helped me out with tweaking the draft, so.
We're just helping them get that part put together. So with that,
Thanks, can I say?
Yes.
Thanks again for leaving me on the workshop, okay? Just leave it at that. Thank you very much.
it's no problem, and I will ask for an adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion.
Thank you.
To adjourn.
This is done.
It's done.
Chat GPT is your best friend.
Family who is very ill, okay? So it's cancer. So between that and all the deadlines I had, plus it's the biggest time of the year, it was pretty hard. I'm trying to take care of a household.
Okay, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I just was
Yeah.
curious.